You have probably heard of the Great Lock-In. It is day 8 of the Great Lock-In, and our season, our segment, our work is called Lock In on Becoming. Lock In on Becoming. And what I want to share with you today as we go down this journey together, right? As we take this journey together, I want to share how to show up bold this week. I want to share 3 ways that you can show up bold this week. And this is how we're going to move forward, right? Every week there will be a different part of this series. This week is about showing up bold. Drop a 1 in the chat if you are ready to show up bold this week. I am your girl, Chantel Holly. I'm a certified authentic leadership coach, and I help women like you build brands, grow brands, right? Stop hiding behind your brand. So if that is what you're doing, this message may be exactly for you. I'm always asking God to guide me to my 1. So I'm going to jump right in. But before I do, I'm going to read what day 8 says out of my book, Hiding Behind Lipstick. And day 8 says, this is our little warm up while y'all drop in the room. Good morning, beautiful. I see you, sis. Day 8 says, I will pick up the pieces and move and make the best out of the life that let me start over. I will pick up the pieces and make the best of my life with what I have now. All right. There is a process to healing, and the first step is acknowledgement. The first step is acknowledgement. And the question, the prompt says for day 8, I am totally grateful for my gift of. What is your gift? We all have a gift. What is your gift? So let's jump right in. As I was walking this morning, I was asking God, God, what am I talking about with my community this week? And he's like, show up bold, show up bold. And the 3 points that he gave me for showing up bold. Good morning, Angie B. And number 1 is take quick, messy action. Number 1 is take quick, messy action. And I know right now somebody is cringing, right? The overthinkers are cringing. The introverts like myself are cringing. And the reason why that came to me and why I allowed that to be one of these guiding principles for today, for this week, is most of what I've done had to be part of my faith walk, faith steps. And faith steps are quick actions. Faith steps are not negotiating with God about, are you sure? Can I do this? Who's going to show up? Who's going to support me? Those are not faith steps. That's more of the overthinking that we tend to do on our own. So take quick, messy action. I don't know what is wrong with my vocabulary today. I'm acting like I can't speak. Take quick, messy action is number 1, because everything doesn't need to be researched 1,000 times, spoken about 1,000 times. Some things you already have, and it's time to use what you have, right? It's time to use what you have. And as we go into this new week, that's one of the principles that we need to be guided by. Taking quick, messy actions. Because what happens when we take quick action is we get to learn, we get to test, we get to evaluate, will this work? How is this working? Is this attracting who I need it to attract? Am I showing up in the way that I want to be seen? That's how taking this action quickly allows you to be a compass, a guide to where it is that you're aspiring to go, who it is that you're aspiring to be. Inside of our lock-in on becoming, who is that woman that you're aspiring to be? How does she show up? I'm sure she shows up courageous. I'm sure she shows up confident. I'm sure she shows up bold. What does that look like? What would it look like for you to show up bold this week? Drop that in the chat. What is one thing that you can do this week to show up boldly that maybe you didn't do this year at all? Maybe you did it earlier in the year and you've lost sight of it. What is that for you? So number two, somebody drop a 2 in the chat if you are with me. Somebody drop a 2 in the chat if you are with me. So 2 is stop asking friends for advice. Stop asking friends for advice. And the reason for this is our friends are too comfortable, or can be too comfortable, with our brilliance, our genius, our light, right? How we show up in the world. Our friends also can be too familiar, Jeannie, too familiar. Shamika, I see you dropping the twos in the chat. They can be too familiar with our insecurities. They know our vulnerabilities. And when we say we want to do certain things, they protect us. Their instant response is protection. Your family's instant response may be protection, but it shows up and it makes us feel fear the way that it's given to us. We feel like, well, maybe I'm not cut out for that. Maybe I can't do that. Maybe that's not for me. But when you get inside of different spaces, you tend to dim your light because you constantly think about the things that you can't do. You constantly think about the insecurities. But how about all of the ways that you've made it this far? All of the lessons you've learned, all of the trials you've already overcome, right? So as I'm walking this morning, I'm not asking God for anything. I'm just thanking God for everything. But I started to name those things. And as I'm naming those things, I even started to thank him for things that are not even happening right now in real time, but I'm believing for those things. So as I'm praying, I'm starting to be grateful and thankful for what's already happening. I'm starting to believe for bigger things. I'm starting to believe for more expansion. I'm starting to believe that. So I'm thanking God for expansion. I'm thanking God for relationships, new friendships. I'm thanking God for my retreat. I'm thanking God for growth, abundance. I'm just thanking God. Whether I have it or whether I don't, I'm still grateful for it because I know that I'm doing the work to move forward toward it. So as you show up bold this week, start thanking God for the things that he's doing in your life, whether you see them or whether you don't. Whether you currently see them or not, give thanks for them now. Give thanks for them now. It's kind of hard to live in a state of gratitude and be mad or be fearful or be angry, right? Gratitude lifts your spirits. Gratitude lifts you up, right? Somebody drop gratitude in the chat. Gratitude lifts you up. Start talking about the things that are in what you want to see currently versus what you've seen in the past. Start using language that aligns with the person that you're becoming. This is us locking in on becoming. Start using the language that is in alignment, right, with who you are becoming more of every single day. And the third and final one is get into community. Get into community. Get into spaces with other heart-centered women who are focused on growth, gratitude, God, right? Really writing the vision and making it plain, really doing that self-work, that personal development work, because there are a lot of people who are building brands on sinking sand. There are a lot of people who are building brands on sinking sand. And when you want something bigger, when you want something bolder, when you know it's time for you to show up bold, you stop overthinking and you start taking action. When you know it's time for you to show up bold, you stop asking for permission and you start giving notice. When you know it's time for you to show up bold, you stand in your truth, knowing that you are more than enough, knowing that you have enough, knowing that you can start where you are and use what you have, but you can't keep being the best kept secret. It's time out for being the best kept secret. This week, we're not comparing ourselves. This week, we're showing up. We're shining bright. We're not dimming our light in spaces. We're not dumbing it down. We're making them come up and get it, right? Those that are aligned with you are assigned to you. Those that are aligned with you are assigned to you. So you never have to worry about, if I do this, what are they going to think? Right? If I do this, what are they going to think? Gratitude confirmation this morning. Yes. What are they going to think? Stop thinking about what are they going to think and think about, what does God want from me? What is God calling me to in this season? Because I can't wait to say, God's like, did you use what I gave you? Well, no, God, I was like evaluating it. I was trying to get it together. It took me 9 months. I gave it to you already. You have it. Before you were born, I knew what you would do on the earth. I knew you were created for this. So why are you spending so much time overcompensating, overperforming, overthinking what you already have? What I already know to be true for you is that you already have it. So you have to use what God has already given you. Thank you, Amanda. You have to use what God has already given you. And you have to stop comparing yourself to this perfectly curated content online and literally show up as her. This is the season to lock in on becoming more of her, more of the woman that you know that you desire to be. But behind the scenes, you're trying to perfect this woman. God didn't call you to perfection. God called you to purpose. God gave you a purpose. He gave you an assignment. When are you going to show up in that assignment? When are you going to answer the call on your assignment? And I know firsthand that it's easier said than done, because I used to struggle with the insecurity of not having a college degree. I used to struggle with the insecurity of, oh my God, what am I going to say? Are they going to be able to relate? Who's going to listen to me? God, are you sure? Right? How am I going to do this on my own? Are you sure? Are you sure you want me to buy this house? My credit is jacked up. Are you sure? God's like, let me show you who I am. I'm going to help you get this house with a 520 credit score, right? Some of us hide behind the shame of who we are and where we've been when God is trying to elevate you. God is trying to, the same thing that I lived in shame about, God used to elevate me. That's somebody's word today. The same shame that I hid behind, God used to elevate me. That is where the expansion came from. That is where the confidence came from. The clarity came from. Sis raising her hand like me, right? That's where it came from. Showing up bold, even in uncertainty. Showing up bold, even when you don't know how it's going to happen. Showing up bold out of obedience. Because we know that delayed obedience is still disobedience. If you know that God has called you to something and we're in the 9th month and you still have not activated and nobody knows about it, that's delayed obedience. That's you behind the scenes trying to make everything perfect, right? Trying to get it all right so people could see you as this perfect person. Baby, I don't care. The most curated content, the most perfect content, somebody's going to pick it apart. So stop waiting and start walking in your assignment. Stop waiting and start showing up as the person that God has already called you to be. And the only way that you can get close to having perfect content, perfect anything that you're trying to make perfect, is by really positioning yourself in your purpose and just walking it out and letting it be what it's going to be. Getting the lesson sooner, quicker, faster. Because waiting is doing nothing but making you lose sleep, gain weight, lose weight, skin breaking out, not eating properly. That's what waiting does. Because deep down inside, there's purpose on your life that you're not answering to. There's calling on your life that you're not answering to. And it's eating you from the inside out. Because you're trying to be something or someone that you're not. That's the only way that we don't get to show up bold. We get to hide behind being an introvert. I've done that. I know what it looks like. We get to hide behind credentials, not having enough, not having any, dropping out, failed marriage, settling in relationships, situationships, whatever it is for you, because we all have something, right? We have to decide that that's not going to stop me from showing up. Because every day, whether you're accounted for or not, every single day is another chance to get it right. Every single day, God's like, okay, let me see if you're going to show up in purpose today. Let me see if you're going to help someone get over something that I've walked you through. Sometimes we think our story is not big enough. Sometimes we think our purpose is not big enough. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, sis. Thank you. I appreciate you, Jeannie. You're welcome. Sometimes we think that it's not enough. But showing up bold is telling the world, is putting something on notice that I'm enough just the way that I am. That's what boldness looks like. Boldness looks like you showing up this week just as yourself because you're more than enough, right? Boldness for me looks like going live, being more intentional about taking this time to take 10, 15 minutes to talk to you, to remind you that you are enough. So if you didn't get anything else out of these 3 points, know that you are more than enough and you have enough. You've done enough, right? Yes, I am enough. Put it in the chat. Everybody that's here, put in the chat, whether you're live or on the replay, I am enough. I'm going to run back these 3 points to show up bold this week. They're like our guiding principles for the week. Number 1 is take quick, messy action. You're welcome. Number 2, stop asking friends for advice. And number 3, get in community with other heart-centered women that are making moves toward the kingdom, that are making moves for the kingdom, right? Yes, I am enough. I am enough. I see him in the chat. I love it. I love you. Hey, sis, I love you. You are more than enough. And I will see, you're welcome, sis, and I will see you all next time. This is episode 1 of the Lock In on Becoming series. This is episode 1 on the Lock In on Becoming series, and it's called Show Up Bold. I'm expecting to see you show up bold this week. Okay, got you. All right, have an amazing day.